welcome back to Chaos Creations. I am sorry, there has been a bit of a gap of late. I have been dealing with a few bugs, and it's winter here over here. Everything is drying very, very slowly at the moment, so it's been a bit of a pain. If you've seen my short videos, you know the fact that I'm doing a very, very large Necromunda Secundus battle table. And I've been printing out a lot of these frames, and these frames come in like bends, straights, T-junctions, big rooms, small rooms, as you do. And it's all modular, so you can take all these pieces out, and you can put another section in there, or you can just flip it around. So, if you wanted to, you can have that, or, you don't like that, you can flip it around, have it like that, or if you want to, you can just put in, a door, and away you go. The problem was, though, that each frame takes anywhere from 4 to 5 or 6 of these little slots, which makes it wonderful for modular terrain. It makes it amazing. You can have a section come off here and then go off here and so forth, or here. But the problem is that you're left with a whole lot of these. The initial idea was just to spray paint all of these sliding in bits and then paint them all up and then just paint up the frames afterwards, of which it would have sent me irreversibly insane, if not more so than I already am. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint up a whole section, varnish it and put it away, and then get another section and do it that way. That way I'm getting a bit of variety. I'm doing different doors and so forth. I'm doing, not all bends and such. It gives me a bit of enjoyment. That said, I've got, I think it's like 420 of these things to paint up in total. So, there is a lot of these, and, some of them are good. They're only half size, but, a lot of them are just full size. And also a lot of them have these little alcoves, of which I'm putting all sorts of little bits and pieces in there to, make it look like they're, arcane relics and such, bits and pieces, bits and bobs, just from my bits box along the way. And also the fact is, I'll put down, some of the pieces are like, yay big with a huge area. So I've got like a little bit of scoured terrain. I printed out some garbage bags, just stuff I can put down on a little like dumpster and such. And this is all 3D printed at 0.2. And I'm working on some, whoa, that'll go on the floor, and some pipeline and such. These pieces in particular are all free, get them off my mini factory. So they're free of charge, which was very nice. And, I'm doing some bigger pieces as well, like this like turret system. And this can just sit in a corner as a bit of scoured terrain, or it might be the objective, ancient weapon found, you're going to scrap it for parts or whatever and such, and away we go. But the other problem I found is that even though, I'm painting up all these in sections and so forth, it still is going to get repetitive very quickly because there's only a certain amount of these types. I think there's like 25 of these, and then, they're all going to be printed out. So you're going to get lots of doubles. So how do you fix that? So, you got a nice sort of door there. Now that's a little bit of this paint here. This is Villaggio, and this is like a sort of an orangey sort of color. And I just watered that down and popped that in there with a bit of brown, and then a little bit of the dirty down, very, very heavily watered. And by the way, I found out with dirty down, you're supposed to put it in warm water to heat it up before you use it. It's great when you read the instructions. So what I'm doing is I'm getting a little bit of orangey tinge, a little bit of brown, and then the dirty down comes in, just a watered down version just to help it out. And the effect is really nice. I also did it on the back there, and also here as well. So that's another version. So, it's got a little bit of silver in there as well to make it look a bit more worn and such. And I think that's a bit of dirty down, like 2 layers. So the first layer went down, it was very heavily watered. And then I waited for it to dry completely, and then went over with a semi-watered down version. It's a lovely effect. But even then, you do it so many times, it's going to get repetitive. and that's going to get a little annoying. So the way around it is I got to fly in a whole lot of these little posters, and these are things that you can get, like, the Emperor of Humanity, watch out for zombies, danger singles, beware of mutants and such. And I also got some of these larger ones, and these are much bigger. Now, these are printed out in colour, excuse me, and they were like, I think, for 10 sheets, I think it cost me $7 from my local Officeworks, if you're in Australia. And, they're quite nice. So what I can do is I can take one of these out, and if I've got, let's say, something like this, I can paint it all black, and I can make it look all pretty, with yellow and so forth. But if I want to, if I've got like 25 of these or 10 of these, I can stick a couple of posters on it, put a bit of dirty down on them, make them look a bit more messed up and so forth, crinkle them up, scratch them a little bit, and away we go. And I'll stick them down with a bit of wood glue or something, or maybe a little bit of Tarzan's grip, whatever's on hand. And, it just breaks up the monotony a little bit of just having, 12 or 10 of these or whatever, all painted up, different colours, but all pretty much the same. It just gives a bit more variety. So, with this one in particular, now just let me take off that bit there. Now, of these, this is the only bit I will actually glue down, mainly because there's no modular bit for the bend here at all. So having it glued down means it's just one less piece I have to worry about. And the outside is looking quite nice. You can turn it upside down if you really wanted to, but I mean, it's not going to make a huge difference, and it saves me cutting around one more thing. So what I do is I tend to paint these all up quite nicely on the inside, best I can. Some of these will have the the yellow and black stripes, some of them won't. I'm at the moment just playing around with some ideas and such. But it's easy just to take this thing out, paint it away from the frame. The first one I did glue it down, and I'm like, oh man, this is going to be difficult. Also, it means getting to some of the points around here and so forth. It's actually quite a nightmare if this bit's already stuck on there. So, and also the fact is I've done the stripies, much easier to do when it doesn't have a bit glued down here. And all I've done with that is I've just gotten a very light pencil, did some pencil lines, and then painted it in. Still not perfect, but excuse me, I can't paint a straight line to save my life. So you've got like some of these, some of them got alcoves, some of them have got different pictures and so forth and imagery and such. So you just paint them up as you go before you glue them down. It's just a lot easier. It really is. And the back, once again, it doesn't have to be hugely impressive on the back. That's more for show than anything else, mostly because it's on the outside. So you're not playing games on the outside, you're playing games on the inside. But you want the outside to at least look somewhat colourful. And also, I find the fact, this is getting a bit of pain to put in, I bet it's easier this way around. What do you bet? Yeah, there you go. Mostly because it's on the outside, but I find the back bits, especially for the rims and so forth, I use for a bit of painting testing. So if I'm, trying out, hey, let's just put some red on there and then put a bit of orange and then do a bit of silver. What effect do we get? I have a bit of green there, metallic green with a bit of this and such. On the outside, no one's really going to really care. It's just, sitting there. Who cares? It just looks nice. Now, I want to go back to, now that's the Vallejo paint right there. This is actually very good, but these wall paints, I got these the other day. Now, Mithril in particular is absolutely spectacular. It is very similar to the Necron compound. These things are a lot cheaper than Citadel paints. Well, they are here. And they've got little ball bearing. I don't know if you can hear that inside of it. So that saves me a lot of time. Sort of got a ball bearing in there. It's great. It's wonderful. And so I've got a whole lot of metallics here. So I've got a mithril. I've got weaponized or weapon bronze, a tainted gold, a gunmetal, a red, metallic red, a dark metallic green, which I'm absolutely in love with. This stuff is great. And a light metallic green. So since I'm doing a whole lot of metal over here, it's quite handy to have different metallics. Now, for the most part, it's the same old same. So I paint it black, and then I give it a heavy dry brush in good old chocolate brown. It's called burnt sienna, but it looks like chocolate brown to me. And then I'll go over it with the mithril and dry brush, and then that's my base. So that's everything done. Then I come back with different colors, yellows and such. And I found out that if you do paint things pink and then paint them yellow, the yellow pops so well, so beautiful. I mean, look at that yellow. That is beautiful and vibrant. It's lovely. So that's the general plan. The other thing I will do is some of these floors. You know, they look nice, but I mean, not on all of them, but some of them I might put something here like, you know, warning or danger or something. I mean, we've got a danger stripe here, and I think it's a biohazard symbol. So realistically speaking, you know, having a couple of warning, you know, little labels there or danger or something, it also breaks it all up, makes it a little bit more different. And they're not all the same looking like this. So what I might do is, I've got like 7 of these things. One of them I might green stuff this completely and just have it nice and smooth, just to make it a little bit more different. You want to break up the monotony a little bit, and that's what you want to do. Apart from that, I'm working on a corpse grinder because I'm going to do the what do you call it? The corpse grinder cult army, or army gang, I should say. So I'll be doing them up once they arrive. And that is something else I want to talk about briefly. I've got a few messages from people over the last couple of months here, TikTok, and a few other places saying, how do I afford all this stuff, you know? And it's saving and wheeling and dealing mostly. So it's like High Fleet Leviathan, I'll get that right. I got 2 boxes of that. Now, I'm only going to use the Tyranid side. I'm not going to use the Marines. But those Marines are, you know, quite impressive. And I understand, I don't know if it's true or not, some of those miniatures are from that box set only. So what I'll do is I'll hang on to them for, you know, 2-3 years. And then, you know, if I'm looking, hey, I'm looking for a Gene Stealer cult. Hey, look, I've got these Marines here. Simple trade, and away we go. And I do sell a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit of my 3D prints here, there, and everywhere to, you know, get the miniatures in. But I've got some, like, some of the original Gore-Tex and Felix miniatures from way back, some of the older Blood Bowl stuff. Now, I'm not going to use any of this stuff, so, you know, I trade it on and get it there. So a bit of wheeling and dealing is how, for the most part, I get some of my stuff. Now, don't get me wrong, if somebody wants to give me a disturbingly large amount of money for no apparent reason, then, you know, hey, let me know. But for the most part, it's done through bartering, and I do sell some of my terrain. Somebody messaged me the other day and they wanted me to make some fell bats and so forth. And I showed them what I can and can't do. I mean, I don't have resin printers. I've only got normal size printers, so normal FDM printers. So, but they were happy with it. I printed them out, sold them off, and they were more than happy. And they even said it looks like a resin print. I can't tell the difference. Easy with me. I'm glad that the client's happy. That's the important thing. As for rumors and so forth, I hear Mordenheim, the new version, is now in the place testing phase. I am iffy about that. Mordenheim is perfect the way it is. Don't change it. It's wonderful. A new version, I don't know if it's going to be in the Age of Sigmar or in the old world. They haven't really said too much. All I know is the fact that it's in playtesting, and that's it. So, I mean, GW plans sometimes, 5-6 years ahead. So the other thing I want to talk about is I have people that I speak to, and some of these people I assume work for GW. They've been on the money with most things, and there is a word that I've heard used in some of the chats, and it's called danger response. And I've always wondered what the hell they mean by danger response. It's an odd word. Why would they say it? Turns out, after talking to somebody, danger response are games that they've already made, they've all been play tested, and they're sitting on shelves. So whenever maybe sales drop in a certain area, they can bring out one of these games, show it off, mass produce it, bang, away we go. So I said to them, so what games do they have? And they said, well, think of things like, like the Hero Quest games and things like that. So they just sit there, and when they need it, bang, out it comes, and away we happen. And I said, do they have? And they said there are about 6 of them. And I went, well, and they said, we can't tell you what they are, but for example, you could say like, the boat game, the sea game with the ships and so forth. That's a prime example. They bring it out, they pop it in a white dwarf for a couple of issues, and then it's just a Dreadfleet. That was it, Dreadfleet. And then it goes away, and Dreadfleet is never seen again. So that's what's going on with these, games. So I'm hoping that Mordenheim isn't one. I'm hoping it's going to be a game that's going to be going on and on and on and on. But, it made me wonder, what games would they have just sitting there? And all they need to do is just, start mass producing them. Battlefleet Gothic, maybe? A new version of Space Hulk. Just Epic for 40k, maybe. I don't know. It's just interesting, the mind boggles about games just sitting there, just waiting to come out. Or, do they have armies? Maybe that's what happened to Skaven for 40k. Maybe they're just leaving them on a shelf at some stage. I know that they made them. They produced some of the miniatures. They had rules for them. They were playtesting it. And then all of a sudden, it was pulled. And no one knows why. I wonder if that's sitting on a shelf. Maybe one day we'll see Space Skaven, when the chips are down and GW needs some influx of cash. As for Warhammer the Old World, I'm getting really, really disappointed and angry. Here in Australia, we're still waiting for some of the Orc stuff to come out. We haven't seen dwarves yet. Dwarves are coming sooner or later. They'll be announced, but it's not like when Bretonnians and the Undead came out. That was boom, hello, there we go. Bring it all out. Now with the Orcs, it's like, here's some Orcs, here's a little bit more Orcs. I'm sure the rest of the world has them. Australia, we got some of the bits and pieces, but none of the big box sets. I don't think we have the big box sets yet, in fact. We're still waiting for them after all this time. I'm sure, GW has their reasons behind it, but I don't know what it is. You think you'd want to get, products out there as quickly as possible within reason. So dwarves are still incoming. All I hear from that side of things are, the rumours, rumour this, rumour that, undead, vampire counts coming in phase 2, some with Cathay and some with North, blah, 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 blah. But it's all, just rumours. Until you actually see it from GW, consider it all rumours, and that's it. So apart from that, I've got nothing else to tell you. I hope everyone is doing well. It is freezing cold here in Australia. For the Northern Hemisphere, you're enjoying your summer by now. Paint drying, glue drying extra quick, you lucky buggers. We'll be there in a couple of months, back there about December. Australia, we're back in the heat. But until then, it's cold, 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 and I have to take my time painting. Any questions, just ask. Please like and subscribe to my channel. I do have some prizes going for Legions Imperialis, some boxes and so forth that you can win once I get up there with a few more followers. Any questions, just ask. And yes, I was absolutely shocked. Painting it hot pink and then putting yellow over the top worked so well. I will now be thinking about doing a Bad Mood army of Orcs, because the one thing that stopped me painting up Orcs was I love Bad Moon, but I could never get the yellow done well. So now I may have to paint them all hot pink and then get an Orc army happening. Always remember, love the game, love life, chaos out.